Today's episode features 2 old boats in Kingston, Ontario. This is the 18th day of our 3-week cruise from Montreal to Ottawa, down the Rideau Canal to Kingston. That's where we are today, and we'll be going on in the next episodes through the Thousand Islands and up to Cornwall. This is Kingston's Confederation Basin Marina. We are waiting for Hurricane Beryl to pass through. We had a really rainy day yesterday. Today is a bit of rain on and off. It's clearing. Tomorrow would be a good day to travel up through the Thousand Islands. But for now, we'll do things like catch up on laundry, dry out a few things, explore the downtown, and in particular, just to the south of the Kingston Confederation Marina is the SS Keewatin, a steam passenger ship that is a floating museum taken out of service in the 60s. Visible from the marina across from the bay is the Royal Military College. It's basically officers' college for the Canadian military. Beyond that is the historic Fort Henry. If you have time to visit there, if you're driving or by boat, if you can grab a taxi and go over, it's a good place to go. The kids will enjoy it too. They have reenactments and things like that. One feature that's very prominent are these martellos, these fortified structures. You could say they are very heavily reinforced round blockhouses. They had heavy cannon power, and there were, I'm not sure, half a dozen or so arrayed around from islands and around the bay to guard this entrance to the Kingston Harbor and up the Rideau Canal, and it was a great military fortification. Just a few blocks south of the marina is the SS Keewatin, and it's been at the Marine Museum of the Great Lakes since 2023, and it just opened this year in 2024 for tours. Running down the center of the ship for 2 stories or 2 decks are these foyers. I'll call them foyers. Very elegant. All the woodwork is just beautiful. You had clerestory windows, even stained glass. The staterooms were on the outer walls or the outer edges of that foyer. So you had 2 decks of staterooms, and they were very elegant, and for the time, luxurious. You had hot water, for bathing, for heat, electricity. Most staterooms were designed for double occupation. If you had more money, the richer accommodations were quite fine and elegant. There would even be room for special officials like a petty officer or even a police officer if required. Crew generally got tighter quarters, jammed up in the front where the boat was narrow or at the aft. The dining room was aft on the main deck, and it was the epitome of elegance. All the furniture, the woodwork, the linens, the tableware. Note the Chinese translation on the menu for the waitstaff. Notice that the crew also has more basic wooden bench accommodation for eating. And the kitchen here is quite complete and huge. There was also a preparation room attached where they had the refrigeration. Above the dining room, there is a men's lounge, and it could be used as a party room or dance hall or something like that. No women allowed. That's where the men would go and smoke and drink, but during party time, women could come if accompanied by men. Women had in the back a very oversized, I'll call it a lounge. It was more like a living room for women and children and nannies and so on. And the stewardesses helped with childcare as well. The ship was built in 1907. I'll talk about that later. It operated up until 1966 when it was sold for scrap, and it had various ownership and various commercial ventures tried with it, but finally it ended up in the hands of the museum. Here are some stats and figures. Overall length, 336 foot 7 inches. Draft, 23 foot 7 inches. Beam, 43 foot 8 inches. Now here's the interesting part. Built 1907 in Scotland, designed to be cut in half. Once it reached Hamilton, it was cut in half in 1907. Went through the Welland Canal and was reassembled in Buffalo. We also purchased a below decks tour. The boat has been modified. You see the doorway cut through the one bulkhead leading aft from the large cargo hold into the coal bunker storage area. There are a couple bulkheads there, and it was all manual shoveled. The boilers you see have been cut away just for viewing purposes. The quadruple expansion steam engine is amazingly complex, all the different systems. There are other shipboard systems here aft with it, such as an electrical generator set for the electricity, a steam-powered fire pump, all sorts of devices and things that are hard to explain or understand. Commands are sent to the engine room through the Gosport speaking tube. I think the throttle is this big wheel you see here, me standing beside. Then there is the engine telegraph, which says forward, reverse, stop. This telegraph has not moved since its last actually command from the bridge, which was to stand by. This notice is not original to 1907, but rather is a relic of the Cold War era. We had a lot of fun that day in Kingston and around the boat, around the marina. One thing we noticed was these two electric chargers, Voltari. If you look that up, it's a high-performance boat manufacturer based around or in Kingston. I don't know if this is going to catch on, but look it up, Google it, and comment what you think.
Oh, you're at the